It's aliens and they're living in your town. They have arrived. They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared of
Hello,
aliens?
weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It is the Weird Whatever podcast, and we have got a full audience tonight.
Ooh, very full.
Audience, let me hear you back there. All right, we have a full house. We have 3 people here, the most we've ever had for an audience. And I'm tickled pink. It's our ghost team, Vicky's ghost team, that did the investigation last week. And Vicky, we have a lot to get to.
Yes, we do.
Now, the naysayers, they're up my ass. They're going, where's the audio? Why is Vicky taking so long? They don't realize this is a process. Now, if you don't mind, please let the good people know what kind of process this is. And if you don't know what's going on, we are having my house investigated for spirit activity, paranormal activity, if you will. And I personally think there's activity. That's why we had Vicky and her team come in here. Vicky, your assessments.
Okay, well, first of all, the reason it takes us so long, I myself had 2 recorders going for the entire length of time that we were here. So let's say that's 4 hours times 2 recorders. That's 8 hours of audio, but it takes more than 8 hours to go over audio because every time you think you hear something, you have to go back. You have to eliminate that it's actually an EVP or something spirit related and not someone in the room. So you're constantly going back and forth. So it could easily take you double the amount of time to go over the audio as it did to actually record it.
I love it. Becky, you hear tales of this. You were here for the investigation, you being the skeptic.
Not only was he here, I was in the room.
Yeah, we have
scary.
We have so much to talk about. I do have to address that we still are having technical issues. Unfortunately, my computer that I ordered for the Weird Whatever podcast was supposed to come in today, and it was supposed to be great and beautiful, and it's not coming in until tomorrow afternoon now. So it's still going to look like a lot of slow bullshit for the 3rd week in a row. We apologize. We are working on. Y'all got to understand, this equipment's a lot of money. And thank you to all the people who have sent us ideas on how to troubleshoot shit. My boy Dennys knows what he's doing. We figured out the problem. We have a computer issue.
Yeah, it's unfortunately an issue where we had to get a new computer. So
yeah, and I ordered it.
We're upgrading. I like it.
It wasn't cheap.
it's actually a good computer that we're upgrading to. So hopefully we should be able to broadcast in 4K. So that'd be the way to. We figured
Yes.
why not go to like one of the better ones.
You will be able to see my crow's feet and gray hair,
Yeah.
real nice. Like it's gonna be fucking sweet. But yeah, Vicky. So go on and talk about the process of what y'all did, what we did.
Okay, so that night we set up cameras. We used 4 high-quality cameras, I might add, and set it up to our DVR system that ran approximately 12 hours. And during that time, we did EVP sessions. We did them with or without the spirit box. There was a point where we pretty much kicked everybody out of the house except for the team, and to make sure that we weren't going to compromise the integrity of our audio. And then we did some experiments. We brought you in at some point. A lot of people left. We had you play your guitar in the living room with the cameras running and things like that. We have 4 cameras times 12 hours minimum. So that is going to take us a while, which I'm a teacher and have spring break. And so we're going to get started. My team is going to get started with me tonight on that. And they are also going to, at the same time, they're going to be conducting an investigation at my house tonight.
Whoa. Is something going on at your place?
Well, we might have had a tag-along from yours. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Stage 5 clinger.
Yes.
Y'all do not send me no emails how I got Vicky possessed or her house.
No.
She knows the world.
So how does that work? Because I remember you saying that you have to be careful about investigating your own place.
Right. It's probably one of our residents. We do have 2 male spirits that we know reside primarily upstairs in my daughter's room. But I actually had an experience Saturday, which was the night after I was here. I was on the couch. I have a sectional, so I was on one end. My dog was on the other end. And I was just kind of, chilling, waiting for my son to text me to come pick him up. And all of a sudden, my dog stood up. And
stood up as in
she stood up
2 feet.
No,
as in
4
she's gonna
feet.
Dunk?
4 feet on my couch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And she ran over to my side of the couch. Now, she wasn't barking. The hair wasn't standing up, but she looked really, really confused. And, I had my blind open about this much, so I thought, did somebody walk up to my window? Did she see somebody? But then I'm thinking she would have been barking. And she's looking, and I'm, talking to her naturally. I'm like, what do you see, Luna? What do you see? And she's just looking like this. And I look over to my right, which is where my doors are. And I couldn't see any shadows outside if somebody was standing outside. And then as I turned my gaze, I looked straight ahead. And straight ahead is a little small hallway. To the left is my son's room, and straight ahead is the bathroom. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I saw a very vivid blue T-shirt, just a T-shirt, that looked like it was on a body, but the body had no head and no legs. But that T-shirt was just as plain as day, walking into my son's closed bedroom door.
Dennys, you being a skeptic as well, Beckett, skeptic, you hear a tale like that, and people keep emailing me going, well, Beckett and Dennys are skeptics. Vicky is this psychic medium. She's talking about the experience. Do they not believe her? Why are they dicks?
Oh,
How do you respond?
whatever. So it's not a thing of belief. It's more so in just I guess in my case, it would be more just a thing of witnessing. If I do see something, I mean, I'm not opposed.
For sure. I'm being a dick.
I'm not
being
staunch against. It's more so just I haven't come across any experiences necessarily where I couldn't 100% definitively say.
Now, both of you were here during the investigation as well. Did you guys have any kind of personal experience, a gut moment, a brush on the shoulder, Beckett, a tussle of the nice hair?
I didn't have any Brussels, but I was there when they were I was doing the live video, and it felt I know it sounds cheesy, but how you feel energy shifts? It definitely felt like a totally different energy shift. And aside from that, it was fascinating watching.
Yeah, it was. It was great. Give it up for the Ghost team,
Yes.
Vicky. They run a very professional ship, as they say in the business. And if you don't believe in this stuff, I get it. I get why you don't believe in it, because it's crazy.
And to Denny's point, I think that helps with skepticism, because when you're witnessing the process and not just the end result, you can hear the team saying, that was Ryan laughing annoyingly, So they're doing the EVPs, they're doing the recordings, so they're like, oh, air conditioning. So they're actually parsing out when they go back and listen to it, is I think how I understand it, so they can they know what's something to look into and not
While they're listening back.
Yeah, that's why I loved working with Vicky. Before I got with Vicky, I had a lot of ghost people that I was working with. I mean, I think I've told you some of the experience before.
No, you didn't tell me.
I didn't. Well, everyone tell Vicky she's awesome.
No one wants to hear about anyone's exes.
Well, let's just say my exes, they sucked. They were not good. They were cringy. They were terrible on the air, and they weren't real. They were. I can always tell when someone's trying to give me something that I supposedly want. You know what I mean? And they would give me what I would think I want, and I could kind of snuff that out. Vicky, her process is eliminate all avenues of why it can't be. We need the skeptic. Y'all should be skeptical towards me. I have a microphone. Anybody that's got a microphone that talks to more than one person, you need to call them out and always keep them on their game. That's why we love a Metal Beard Dan. And we also hate a Metal Beard Dan in a lovable way, of course.
Yeah.
No, we need someone like a Metal Beard Dan, people that are not believers. And we bring up Metal Beard Dan a lot because he is not a believer, but he's a loyal listener. And we like that. That's what we do like. I want to convert the Metal Beard Dans over. I think Metal Beard Dans, that type of personality, they can be brought over to our side, but we need very good proof.
Right.
Well, all it takes actually is for him to go on an investigation in a very active location, and he will change his tune in that chat room.
Okay, so if you guys don't know what I'm talking, if you're just listening to the audio, Metal Beard Dan, he's a KVJ Nation in our chat room.
Sounds like a badass.
He sounds like a badass, but he is a naysayer.
He better have the coolest beard I've ever seen.
He does.
He's got it.
No,
Okay, sure.
it backs it up. That's the challenge. We're inviting you out, Metalbeard Dan, for a ghost investigation.
The tables have turned.
I love it. I love it. Bringing one naysayer over at a time.
There you go.
Vicky, so much to cover from the investigation, and I pride myself with Weird and Whatever because we go over so many topics, but it's going to be pretty ghost intensive tonight. Some of the things that I jotted down that I wanted to get into. When it came to the music part, you talked about how I was playing the guitar and orbs were coming to me. I know Joe Ponton of KVJ Nation, or he was also watching. He kept bringing that up to me. And him being a novice with all this, he goes, that was so cool. You sat down at the guitar. You were trying to see if that brought ghost activity. And then the orbs went crazy. Could you explain a little bit what happened with that? And is it a legit cool thing to get excited about, or is it just bullshit?
Well, we don't count orbs as evidence. We look at orbs and see if they happen in conjunction with some other type of occurrence at the time. There was a moment where you and I were at the dining room table, and the team witnessed one come from me and then to you and, do its thing. When you sat down in your spot on the couch and you took out your guitar, it went crazy. And they were emitting their own light. They were pulsating. It was definitely not bugs. We could eliminate bugs on those.
Yo, I do fucking Nazo Nolan. I should not have bugs here. And I do the VIP treatment. I want no critters here, so there should be no bugs.
Yeah. So we eliminate. And again, we would never go into somebody's house, pick up an orb on a camera and say, your house is haunted. It could be dust, it could be moisture, it could be a million different things.
But
it was interesting.
Let's take the Vicky, who is the diligent investigator, which we love. We love her. But let's get the poet, the creative soul. Do you see any kind of magic with an orb? Does it ever turn you on?
There have been moments, like I said, when it coincides with something else. Years ago, I was in front of the cameras. Bobby Joe was downstairs. She did not know what I was asking. I said, are there 3 of you? She calls over the radio. She goes, I don't know what you just said, but 3 orbs just came straight at you. That you have to put a little more credence to, because I just said, are there 3 spirits or the 3 of you? And 3 big giant orbs came right at me when I said it. But again, as far as a homeowner, as far as us saying that your house is haunted or has activity, we would not count that.
Becky, we're talking orbs. We're talking Bobby Joe. We're talking, is it dust? Is it spirit? Thoughts?
It's super interesting. It's interesting that Vicky and her team doesn't try to just latch onto an orb, right? Like, she's basically trying to corroborate that. People know that from Law and Order, right? And she's trying to corroborate that with other evidence before they look at that as the shiny object, pun intended. That's great.
Well, because you don't want it disproven. So
That's
you
right.
want to do all your research on the front end.
Yeah. I was curious, when Jason started playing the guitar, did these seem like they were fans or they were booing?
Who knows? Who knows? So here, I'm glad you brought that up, because I personally feel that there is a strong female presence here, and kind of almost on the va-va-va-boom kind of an, I don't know, got a romantic side to her when it comes to whether I'm playing the old-timey music with the thunder. I have just noticed there seems to be a presence correlating with music, whether it's live music, whether it's the TV. What the fuck are they doing back there? Is it a Def Comedy Jam out there? I get people in my living room, and you would think that there is a fucking comedy show going on out there. I don't know if the people can hear that out there. But is there a correlation to... I'm only bringing that up, Vicky, because I feel it if I'm playing, especially that fucking haunting piano you gave me.
I saw that clip that you put.
That piano is, I don't even know if I want to get it tuned because it's so creepy, and I love creepy shit. Is there a correlation to music and bringing out those spirits? Because I feel that there is.
In your particular case, for sure. Not necessarily in other cases.
Yeah,
but
talking
in your case,
specific- Yeah,
definitely.
that's what I mean, specifically for me.
And we did get evidence that you do have at least one female, possibly multiple females here.
Oh my God, it's an orgy up in here.
Groupies, some boob. It wasn't good. I do. There's so much more ghost stuff. Maybe we'll come back to it. We're gonna revisit that. Although the one thing I did say before we wrap up this one segment, the big comment I got on the TikTok video that I released was Allison's blood blister.
Right.
Allison, if you don't mind, could you please step up to the microphone and talk about, because some people are saying, oh, the blood blister was there. She's thirsty. No one said that. no one said that. But if you don't mind, talk about your experience and if you felt something and about the blood blister.
I get it. You know, it's on my arm. It's like something looks like that got pinched or something like that. But before we got here, I would have noticed something that bright on my arm. So we were putting together I was tucking the cords underneath your carpet, and that's when I looked down and I saw it. It wasn't there before. Now, is it paranormal related? I don't know. I can't say yes or no. I didn't feel anything. It wasn't like, when people say you get scratched, you feel a burn, or or you have 3 scratches or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I just know it was not there.
So well, funny enough, we did not investigate my bedroom where I told y'all when I first got here, something came out of my closet, went over my head, and then through my window. And then I had a little bit of a yellow streak, not white, a yellow streak in my hair. Now, I know you can get that from Florida water, but it wasn't there. Did I not tell you about that, Vicky?
No.
Okay. I talked about that on the air maybe, and we weren't doing the podcast, so yeah, it might have been out of mind. We didn't even investigate that room, and that closet area is majorly active in a whole different league of things going on, in my opinion.
Now, even though we didn't actively investigate, we did have 2 recorders going in there when we were watching the video. So there very well could be. I think we did ask some direct questions while we were in there. So we do have audio that we need to go over from your room.
I love it. That's great. That's awesome. And possibly, too, there might be footage of your arm before you enter the house where there's no blood blister.
That's what I'm hoping.
That would be fucked up. That would be good. If you have no blood blister, then all of a sudden you walk by my closet and you got a blood blister. Not that I'm, wishing blood blisters on you.
Oh,
Well, we are hoping that at some point as she was setting up, the cameras were live as they were setting them up. So we're hoping that somewhere in the process we would have gotten a good shot of her arm, hopefully without it. And then that proves that it happened while she was here.
Are those things, my question is, out of curiosity, are those things, I guess the best way I can ask is it, what's the motive behind it? Like stigmata? Like stigmata is where like it's like a representation of something. Is it someone trying to hurt her? Is it some, you know what I mean?
If I were going to guess, it's one of Jason's ghost women who might have had a little jealous moment.
Jealous. So, Allison is part of Vicky's ghost team. People are asking who. If you want to introduce your whole ghost team, Vicky.
Okay, this is Allison.
Hey.
And Brandy, want to come so they can see you?
Now, Brandy, did you have any experiences while you were doing here personally? If you want to, you guys might have to switch. Yeah, or
Not so much any experiences, but
you got to talk in the microphone.
not so much any experiences, but the orbs that we noticed that we were talking about earlier. The ones that specifically
You have to really
came
get
out while
There you go.
you were playing the guitar. It was like they were dancing around you. They were like happy. It was just a different look than ones that we've seen before.
Sounds like fans, baby.
It does.
Okay. That so that at least confirms a feeling I've been having about just especially. I have not had any kind of female feelings, Vicky, until I started listening to that old-timey fucking music on YouTube.
Right.
I feel like
We missed one of my team members, though.
Oh,
Yep.
oh yes.
Yeah, this is my daughter.
Come on over.
Say hi. This is my daughter, Lindsley.
Now, Lindsay was not here for the
She was not here, but she's instrumental. Yeah, she's studying for school. She is instrumental. Like whenever we have, in fact, she listened to the one that we're trying to see, the EVP that we think we're going to eliminate, that it's Beckett. She actually hears something more than what we heard. She's our EVP expert.
Okay, so I'm so glad you're bringing this up. Now, this is not as good as the footage as me and Vicky got before, where the spirit grabs. But if this EVP proves to be real and legit, in my opinion, I've never heard a better EVP. And Vicky, I mean,
It's a Class A.
what's a Class A?
Class A are when you don't have any problems hearing it whatsoever. Remember, these are directly on my recorder, so they haven't been altered, and I never alter them anyway, even when they go on the computer. So this is pretty much a no-brainer when you listen to it.
Okay, now, in your opinion, what do you think about this EVP?
I mean, I listen to EVPs all the time. I actually did not listen at all for this investigation just because I just started school. But my mom played it for me today, and she was like, oh, I think it sounds like this. And I think it sounds something different, which I think is a great thing about EVPs because you can kind of like bounce off ideas of what you can hear, but it's clear. She played it out loud for the other team members, and I could hear it, and I was sitting way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without
It's
headphones
very loud.
across the room, she could hear
So
it.
the reason why this one EVP, and really quick, Vicky, y'all, I've been drinking since like 11 a.m. What's an EVP?
It's electronic voice phenomena. These are voices that are present on our recorders that we did not audibly hear when we were investigating.
Thank you, Vicky. Okay, now let's talk about what we heard here. I want the words of what you think you've heard, Vicky. I think what I've heard too, and then I want to hear what you think.
Well,
you've heard.
Lindsley heard a whole sentence. I only heard 2 words.
So I hear the words "dead man."
Right.
And it's so clear, Beckett, and we don't think it's. Did you remember saying the words "dead man" during the investigation?
No, but I'm nervous because everything hinges and falls on me messing it up.
Yeah, but
No, we want you to tell the truth.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we want you to tell the
Of course
truth.
I will.
But I also know your personality. When this was going on, me, Dennys, Joe Ponton, nobody. We were not in the room, and I know how you are. You were not. You were shutting the fuck up. You were watching them do their thing, and not being.
I went to Catholic school. I know how to be quiet.
You do. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I'm 99% sure this is not Beckett's voice. There's no other man in the house. This is a legit man voice.
The only thing that's sometimes tough to control is a laugh from me.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
This voice doesn't. Does it sound like Beckett to you? No, it sounds like someone's going like this. And when I hear "dead man,"
So say it's way more manly than me?
way more. Oh, he is all about that bass. Now, what do you hear, Lindsley?
I heard "Get That Man." Yeah, I heard "Get That Man." So I could hear "Dead Man," but I heard a word before, and I was like, okay, so I kept listening, and I heard "Get That Man," which doesn't really help either.
Okay.
In your case.
Okay, so Vicky, you've been doing this for God knows how long. When it comes to EVPs, would you hold this if this proves to be true? Top of the line?
It's a Class A for sure. It's probably not the best one I've ever captured.
Well, then what would be the best?
What's the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Yeah, that's how I do everything.
It's a 7.
Really?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
7.
then what gives you a 10?
One of my investigations in Port St. Lucie, and one of my team members said, "Is there anything we can do to help you?" And it's a man, and you can tell he's clenching his teeth, and he says, "You're wasting your time." And he says it just like that, and almost as loud as that. So that one, I'm sorry, that takes
Okay,
the top 10.
I get that's a 10.
Yeah.
Now you know how it feels
So-
to be dead over Diddy's random facts.
so hold on. Are you giving it a 7 out of 10? Or are you saying it's 7th on the...
7 out of 10.
Fuck. I mean, what do you got to do around these parts? All right.
That's
All
good.
right.
That's good, but that goes to Denny's and I's point. She's not pandering to the podcast.
I love it.
She's telling you exactly how
Well,
she thinks about it.
I am impressed with that one because that one, to me, the EVP that you've played me tonight sounds... They are very firm with their voice. They're standing their ground, and I get a shadow man that's walking by the bathroom ghost from that one.
Well, prior to that, this one is a lot lower EVP. Brandy, I think, had come into the studio here and she couldn't turn the light off. And I think she says, could someone turn off the light? And then on my recorder, a man whispers, bitch.
Damn.
So now my recorder
That
was not
me.
in the
No,
room.
just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That beer's kicking in.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there was one that I haven't played for you, and I'm going to wait till I get it off the recorder, but it's going to impress you as much as the possible dead man.
Is it a woman?
It's a woman.
And is she going 550?
No.
No. What does she say?
She says Jbird. And she says it very clearly, and it is not coming through the spirit box because we have the spirit box going at the same time. However, this voice is near the recorder, which was across the room, and it is not coming through that spirit box. It is her standing next to that recorder and saying Jbird.
Yeah, so I understand that we are giving the audience blue balls when it comes to the footage and the audio.
Well, they can help us tonight go over all of the audio and video if they want to help out. Linda Han?
Would
I mean, there's a ghost tone there. Beckett, yes.
just out of curiosity, would you guys in the team be open to like having them go through like one of the EVPs or anything like that and crowdsourcing the data? Or?
You mean with the public?
Yeah.
I
have
go
no,
go.
I have no problem with anything. I mean, but like it would if I transferred like my whole audio file,
okay,
that would be a
huge.
large
It's
file to.
The other thing I would
to
say,
transfer.
The other thing I would say too is you got to be careful on getting too much feedback from too many sources.
Yeah.
Because it does cloud. I like to get a team that we trust and then say, this is what we think. What do y'all think?
Okay.
Because I've done it before, Beckett, and it just lends to almost more confusion.
Yeah, no one's gonna sit and listen to 2 hours of.
Well,
silence.
because it gets into a whole debate where someone's going to say, I hear beaver face on this clip, and no one hears beaver face, but John from Port St. Lucie hears beaver face, and
Got
then
it.
he's
Makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But to Vicky's point, we want to make it transparent to the public. If we believe in it and we were all impressed with it, good enough to give it to the public.
And the fact is, I have been around since 2007, and we talked about the other teams that you brought in. There's a big difference between my team and some of these other teams. Some of those teams, we call them weekend warriors. They don't have anything better to do.
Fired! Shots fired!
They don't have anything better to do, so they spend their time trying to capture some cool evidence so they can brag about it and post it on their website. My website has no evidence, and it never will have any evidence because that evidence was simply for us to tell the client what they have in their house or what they don't, and then to follow up. We don't just capture evidence and run off in the night, never to be heard from again. We try to give follow-up. If they want it gone, some people actually want theirs gone.
I got to tell you, Vicky, if you want me to honestly die a happy man, all I would want is for just one day to get you in the booth and do a battle rap against all of them fucking fake ass psychics and ghost hunters acting like they're real.
That might actually tempt me.
That
might
would
tempt
do
me.
very well. Chat room, do you want to hear Vicky get gangster in the booth and spit that truth? I know I do.
I love it.
It'd fucking do well.
Ghostface Killer.
Oh my god. Beckett's on fire. Dennys, I think you're threatened. With that, I think it's time for some
Dennys Random
Facts. Dennys does the joke jury on the KVJ show. We got Beckett doing zingers. I feel a little nervous, Beckett. Or what's your name? Not Beckett. I feel a little nervous, Dennys.
Denleys.
We have Vickley. We have Denleys. Dennys does his random facts. He does a great job. Just really, really mining and just digging.
Just rolls off the tongue.
I
It
look
does.
all over the place.
Now, Vicky, our educator, she's been known to be harsh, but also very lovable. What kind of attitude does she bring into the arena tonight? Does Dennys bring the heat? Is it an A? Is it an F? Dennys, the floor is yours.
All right, so I thought this was crazy. You guys all know the term paranoia. When you're afraid, you think people are conspiring against you. There's actually an opposite condition of that called pronoia. It's a person suffering feels that people or entities around them are plotting to do good for them. In fact, they wrote it in the 1982 Scientific Journal. He describes it as, it's a delusion that others think well of one. Actions and the products of one's efforts are thought to be received and praised in positivity. Mere acquaintances are thought to be close friends. Politeness, exchange of pleasantries are taken as expressions of deep attachment and promise of future support. In fact, they've said social media has increased this condition because people live more increasingly dependent on the opinions of others based on uncertain criteria now. Weird, right?
Vicky,
It's just a long sentence.
there's a lot there, a lot of feedback.
A long sentence, too. A lot of big-ass words in there.
Big-ass words, boz,
It
big-ass
was a
words.
Friday, a little wordy.
Damn! Fucking
B minus.
Beckett.
B minus isn't bad.
No,
No,
oh
that's a
my
good
gosh.
score.
I could live on a
Take
B
it all
minus.
day.
It just sounds like another word for narcissist. But it's interesting.
It's weird. It's the opposite. You think so? They were saying people who have streams where they receive gifts and stuff, they'll develop this condition because they're expecting people to shower them. So when they don't get the praise they expect, it's the negative repercussion of this condition.
Do you know what we call those people who complain about not getting gifts? Assholes.
Look, that gift.
Nobody gave me a gift.
So everybody knows rainbows. We all love rainbows.
I mean, pot of gold, Dennys.
In rare conditions, there can actually be moonbows. It's a rainbow produced by moonlight rather than directed sunlight. And what's weird is they come as a muted white. Almost every color is a muted white color. It's a white rainbow.
I'm writing Moonbow down because Moonbow Jenkins is going to be a character in the next KVJ horror movies.
So the conditions necessary for said moonbow is a full moon, obviously, but also in addition, the sky must be very dark. The moon must be very low, less than 42 degrees from the horizon. Finally, the source of water droplets, such as rain and mist by a waterfall, have to be present. Given all these conditions, it's still very rare, but you can see a moonbow, a white rainbow.
That's really cool.
All right, Beckett's impressed, Vicky. Are you?
Yes, I am. That one's an A.
Damn, Moonbow. Moonbow Jenkins.
Because moonlight is sunlight at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's reflected sunlight.
Yeah.
Now Beckett's kind of trying to take a shine on.
Well, so
He's trying to moonbow you.
so when I was looking at moon shit, like I found this. I found that moons can have moons as well if it's small enough or it's large enough and stuff. And then I looked up the scientific term for what a moon on a moon is called. Have you ever heard the term for it?
I mean, yeah, Denny's, we all know it, but tell us.
The term for it scientifically is a moon.
Moon.
It's one word, moon. That's what they call them.
That's another great name, Moon.
All the scientists got together, and that's what they named the moons of moons.
I mean,
So
Vicky-
you can now say it's a moon.
Vicky, do you give me extra points for the Moon?
No. No, he got his A. Go on.
Yeah, you know.
It's interesting. I bet it's another random fact, and maybe you've already said this, but lunacy has to be.
It is lunatics is derived
From the moon.
people's
Oh, yeah.
crazy behavior
See.
because of full moons.
I do think we are. I'm not saying we're controlled by the moon, but I think we're influenced by the moon.
Well,
I think there's something there.
If it controls tides and water, and we build up a percentage of water with our
Well,
bodies, there's no way it doesn't influence.
Who the
us.
fuck are we? So the moon controls the tide, but it doesn't control us. Just like a human thinking we're bigger. And
100%.
yeah, of
Well,
course
I think
moon
there's
could.
stats to back it up at hospitals and police stations that there's more crazy things that do happen on full moons.
And I watched a documentary, Murders in Detroit. I know I've said it before. Skyrocket to the moon, literally.
Oh, on the moon?
Yeah. No, but murders in Detroit
On full moons.
moons. But maybe that's every big city. I don't know why I'm always picking on Detroit.
Yeah, I hear you. So maybe you guys have heard of this. I didn't know this happened, but Benjamin Franklin left the cities Boston and Philadelphia $2,000 each in his will, with the instruction that the money could not be touched for 200 years. Due to inflation and a few clever investments, the two cities ended up receiving $6.5 million in 1999 because of that investment, in which they used to invest in education.
You
That's
know,
great.
he was a PH.
What?
Puss hound.
He was.
He was.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
considered a ladies' man.
Yeah.
They,
Well,
they like the portly, balding
what it
guy
was,
in his
dude.
mid-70s.
He was rich. Nothing's changed.
Back in the day, what it was the Biebers of the world were people who invented. We've talked about it before. Inventors were considered sexy back in
They
that
were.
era.
No,
they were.
They said B. Franks got a lot of action.
As he should. Frame the country.
Man,
I think he deserved it. Don't you think?
So would you say he framed the country?
He was framer of the Constitution.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
He set us up for greatness.
As you were, Dennys.
This is kind of a quickie fact.
Oh, did we give a grade on that?
That's an A.
It's an A.
Oh, look at that.
Look at you on a Friday.
Saving all that.
That was an
yeah.
easy A, too, from Vicky.
Wearing your Sunday's best. Count Chocula shirt. Which
Yes,
I fucking love, by the way.
I only bust this out on the rarest and specialist of occasions. So this is kind of a quickie fact, but I did not know. No matter how badly fingerprints are damaged or burned, they always grow back in their original patterns, no matter
amazing.
what.
Much like a lizard's tail.
Much like a lizard's tail, indeed. Weird.
It's super weird.
What's weirder, the fingerprints or lizard's tail, Vicky?
Fingerprints.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you give that grade?
It's interesting, but B.
Okay, what do you give just a grade on the fact that lizards can break off their tail and it grows back? It's kind of fucking ridiculous, no?
Yeah, but I mean, third graders know that too, so that's kind of a D. Your fact is a D.
Damn. Bert, so you don't want to jump in this arena.
Yeah, don't
dog.
step in that ring, man.
No.
You caught some crossfire.
Dude, you came in
wow.
just with your hands down.
I'm sorry,
You better
man.
be ready.
I grew up in a town where you're very impressed by lizard tails growing back. I'm sorry. I stand by it.
Protozoa.
All right.
All right. So this is kind of just another random quickie. The word goodbye is a contraction of God be with you. So initially, back in 1590, the term was Godbye, Godbwye, which is a contraction of God be with you. And then in the 1600s, the term good day and good evening kind of gained popularity, and they merged the two phrases together as a contraction, forming goodbye. Weird. Everybody would just think it's straight up just the two words together, but it's a contraction.
Vicky looks a little unimpressed.
It's still a B. He's bringing a lot of vocabulary, so as a reading teacher, I have to give him a little bit extra for that. Because normally, if I weren't a teacher, that's probably a C. But the fact that it's another vocabulary type related fact, I'm giving him a B.
Let me ask y'all this.
Now you know how to play to your audience.
Maybe the audience can help me out. I want y'all to help me out. When let's say you get a manager or a new boss, and they say this to you. Okay, Beckett, good day. Do you trust a person that says good day, or do you kind of feel like, all right, they got fucking something up their sleeve here?
It
Good day, Mr. Beckett.
If that's how they said it, then
Well,
I'd be
no,
like-
I mean, I guess you could go. You're right, different tone. It could be, "Good day, Mr. Beckett."
It depends, obviously, on the context. If the guy is serious about that, then I feel like he's a douche canoe. If it's like, hey, like once in a while I came in here, I was like, good day, Jbird. You know, just kind of being funny.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Good
do.
eye,
I'm
good eye.
gonna do a little role play with everybody. Okay, Vicky, you got a new like educator that's overseeing. They're new. They're there to monitor. Already kind of annoying because they're there to micromanage, but they're trying to be cool. You walk in the classroom. Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Fine, yourself?
What type of agenda do we have for these children?
Did you check my lesson plans? They're on my desk.
I did. Good day.
Bye.
Okay, is that person a dick in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay. Dennys, we got a new salesperson.
All right.
They're not a manager. You got to, what's up? So are you Dennys?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, you the guy that likes the weed, right?
Yeah, I do enjoy the weed. Why? How did you hear such a thing?
You like weed, huh? Pfft, good day, bitch.
Yo, if he says that, then I'll be super suspicious. Yeah, all right.
Beckett, you're selling some fucking fancy ass houses.
Yeah.
This guy, you got him on the hook. He's like, "Arr."
So he's my client.
He's your client.
Okay.
And goes, so yes, I want to buy these horses over here along with that piece of property. How much?
Well, it's about $5 million.
good day. Dick?
Thanks for wasting my time.
Okay, so here's my point. People that say good day are dicks.
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
It's not a good day.
Yeah, it's not. Great factoid, Dennys.
Yes.
Oh, look what that brought on.
It brought on so much conversation.
All right, give us one more. A real heater.
So Tom Hanks has a brother named Jim Hanks.
That's awesome.
Who sounds just like Tom Hanks. So when Tom Hanks finishes filming, he moves on to his next project, and any lines that need to be dubbed are dubbed by his brother.
What a cool gig.
So I pulled up a clip. So he actually talks about when he does a basically between a Jim Hanks doing a Tom Hanks. And let's see. I'm bringing up the clip in a second.
No, I mean,
I've hung out with the absolute pinnacle of, somebody who's famous pretty much every square inch of this planet.
Jim Hanks.
Hey, there it is. There's Tom right there. Hi, I'm Tom Hanks. I've traveled with Tom and stuff like that, and I see the crap that he goes through. But he's incredibly gracious about it. I mean, it's mind-blowing. But not being able to go to 3rd Street Promenade without getting mobbed, that's...
So that was him talking.
It sounds like Hanks, but it's almost kind of like you ever get a Pop-Tart where it's supposed to be good and it's just
it's that notch below.
There's not enough.
It's the
flavor.
generic version.
Yeah, it's just got not enough oomph. There ain't enough oomph.
It's not Pop-Tarts. It's Publix brand.
Yeah, it's not.
You're right.
That's a 80% Pop-Tart.
Or it's like when they overdub a line that has a curse word and they get that guy that sounds kind of like the actor.
Are you impressed with Cliff Hanks? What's his name?
Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks?
Dude, he punches in all his lines.
What a
How
gig!
random.
This is the best gig. He's making so much money.
He does tons of work. He's actually a big name in video games.
There's no way that T. Hanks is not also helping and facilitate deals for like my brother Jim Hanks.
He does all of that stuff for him, but he also has his own gig, man. He does his own thing.
Vicky, were you impressed with Jim Hanks?
If I didn't know that it was somebody else, I never would have given it a second thought. I would have assumed, and that's,
It sounds just like him.
Yeah.
So do you think if somebody came in here with a hatchet to my neck and goes, Vicky, you have to go 5 for 5. We got Jim Hanks, we got Tom Hanks. Can you tell the difference? Do you go 5 for 5? If not, Bird gets it.
Rest in peace.
Could you get 5 out of 5?
Oh man, it'd be close.
I could get it.
Dude, I would listen to like 3 interviews with the
We
guy.
should do an
quick.
experiment.
All right, I'll pull
You
clips.
pick the
Tom
clips,
or Jim.
and then if I don't get, someone immediately just speed bags my ball and punches me.
All right, don't let me forget that because I'm gonna pull Tom or Jim. That'll be a game.
We gotta write that. That's a KVJ idea.
Tom or Jim.
Tom or Jim. I love that.
I think
That's
you should go with the shot collar on them.
Oh, definitely.
Shot
On the
collar,
boys.
Yeah,
On the boys.
On the boys.
No. We should do. We should do. Yeah, shots of something gross or something.
Yeah, but we could. I think I could.
I think
Hanks
you could
is a
get
little off.
What if Jim throws some splash lines at you though? You're gonna fall for it.
Chat room, can you tell if that was? You could tell, right? That was an off Hanks. Do you want to get Jen in here to talk about her?
She's into the rooms.
We're gonna get Dennys. Jen. Jen, we're talking about you being a good witch. So I've been calling Jen, Denny's wife, a good witch, and I was informed I'm not a witch. Stop calling me a witch. She's going to speak about what she's been into. Denny's, are you creeped out by any of this, or do you support her witch-like
fully
ways?
support.
Okay.
Oh, the ADL.
Everybody give it up for Jen. Yeah! We have a lot of guests tonight here on the Weird Whatever podcast. I'm liking this.
It's great.
This needs to be a regular kind of a thing. And it's a Friday.
Yeah, I like the
How
Friday.
great's the Friday?
Friday.
There's definitely some spirits going on, if you know what I mean. Huh. Terrible joke.
Don't know what you mean.
Jen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Nice to
Now,
meet
I've been saying you are a good witch, and I work with a bad witch. I legit work with a witch. Virginia is a witch. She does recipes and potions. She'll even say she's a witch, Beckett. What are you doing? What's exactly that you're into? Because I talked about it a little bit. I'm getting emails from people saying, Bird, you're fucking this up.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
So I was getting into, because I do pottery, and I've been doing, I got a set of transfers, like designs that I could put on stuff that was tarot cards, and I was selling them at the markets, and people all the time were like, "Oh, I need something that means this." Like they were always asking for something that meant something, and I was like, I just like the artwork on it.
Meaning what now? If you can elaborate.
Because the tarot cards, each one has a significance to it when people are pulling or drawing cards. So when people were coming to buy stuff and I had all these different tarot card prints, I would always pick them just based on like, I like that design. I'm gonna do that. Put this on a pot.
Okay, so they're more coming there. Go. I want this spiritual experience with the product.
So when I made them looking at the artwork, and I just liked the colors or the design or whatever. But when people would come to buy them, they would ask me for something deeper. They're like, "Well, I really want something that symbolizes, changes, because I want to give this to someone for a special occasion."
Grandpa Harry,
yeah, exactly.
he's trying to quit hookers.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Grandpa. He's trying, but
Harry's never going to shake
he's
that
never gonna.
beast. No.
So I started looking up because I was tired of not knowing and just being like, let me Google it for you. So I started looking into it and stuff like that. And I ended up getting a book that was like tarot card stuff, and then I got from the same person, I got a bunch of this like rune stuff, Nordic runes.
Now, what is that in layman's terms?
So they're like ancient Nordic alphabet, essentially. But they use it for divination and from going to the tarot cards, I found the runes and I like those a lot better. And I was told like, hey, if that's what you feel drawn to, pursue that one more. So I was like, all right. And I like symbolism. I like things that mean other things.
Now, are you doing this as a hobby, or do you personally think there's something legit behind this whole crazy world?
So I don't know. I'm kind of in the discovery phase of it. I like the idea of intuition. I was raised very religious, and I'm kind of like rediscovering what all I feel is true for me. And the one thing that I feel strongly about is kind of intuitions and gut feelings.
Now, I know, because I'm one of your close friends, I know you do come from a religious background,
Yes.
and I get a lot of emails from people who grew up in a religious background, and they kind of went away from it, but they try to come back to it, but they come back to it in a different perspective, meaning they may not, let's say they were raised being a Christian, and they kind of got away to kind of get their own thoughts about it. And they come back going, I don't know if I believe in Christianity, but I believe in God. Do you ever have that kind of struggle, or do you know people that grew up like that?
Yeah, definitely. When you're raised with something is always true, something is always true, something is always true. I think just that part of growing up is to question all kinds of things that you know. So that includes your religious upbringing and stuff like that.
I know that my family would. It was odd with my family because my dad would be more of the religious person, and we would go through almost seasonal type of religion where we would be heathens and we're eating moon pies and everyone's fucking fighting, and then all of a sudden we are now going to church and everything's peaceful and we're going to iron our clothes and sweep the floor, and then it was always inconsistent. Do you find that? In religion a lot, or do you find in your circle back when you were growing up it was pretty militant?
It was fairly militant. We were homeschooled and all that, so it was pretty much like church and school was like all of life. It kind of was one and the same. So that was everything. That's your all day, every day. So when I came to college down here at PBA with lots of other Christian people with different backgrounds, I don't know. There are people from all kinds of thoughts and feelings.
Sure, and that's what's always pretty weird to me. You can get humans fucking just blow my mind. I swear. I love dogs so much now, Vicky, so much. You can have humans agree on the same idea, and even in the same, we agree. You're gonna get subsects of that, fighting, and then there's. It's crazy to me. And I know, Beckett, you grew up in a religious background. You've talked about that before. Yeah. Do you find yourself struggling? I think religion and spiritualism are two different things. They are very related. They coincide. I personally am it doesn't mean I'm right. I more go on the spiritual side of things, not the religion. Religion for me, I just have seen a popularity contest and a pissing contest happen. And again, I'm just a man with a microphone and an opinion. It doesn't make me right.
Right.
Have you seen your journey with religion, spiritualism kind of change and morph into both?
Totally. My dad's side of the family is Southern Baptist. And I was big in sports growing up my whole life. So there was after my parents got divorced, they kind of came less about church, and we were so focused on sports. So I had that kind of in that late elementary, middle school where religion wasn't a super we weren't going to church every Sunday like we used to. But then for high school, I went to Pope John Paul. I went to Catholic high school. BJP. And so I kind of came back to it, and I know it's probably somewhat cheesy or cliche or both, that there's a poem called Footprints in the Sand. You know that one?
I love Footprints, but not even on a religious, or I think it's great writing.
Yeah,
I think
great.
it's a really, really great poem.
It's great. So yes, I, in my own ways, whether it's losing my 2 dogs or the ayahuasca experience or having tough things I go through, I'm gravitated back to it. And I totally agree. It's definitely like a Venn diagram. There's some overlap. And I think that, to Jen's point, what's interesting is that people have to come back to it in their own way. Because in the beginning of life, it's spoon or force-fed to you. And I don't think whether you're going to rehab or, you're going to decide to do an Ironman or something crazy, it's got to come from within. No one's going to talk you into going to rehab. We've all learned that. No one's going to convince you from deep in within inside to be spiritual. You can't say be spiritual. You have to find your own journey back to it.
I think you bring up a great point. I think as humans, we are always trying to find the answer, and we're always looking for that great knowledge. And a lot of times we are looking for outside things to make us complete. And I just know on my personal experience, it kind of sounds like what you're talking about, what Jen's talking about in so many words. You have to kind of go through the fire on your own.
That's right.
And your own experience is going to be different than Jen's, than a Beckett's, than the Ghost teams. Everyone's going to have their own. It's kind of like when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Right.
I really believe that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's been times in my life I wasn't ready to learn. I just wasn't. The ego got in the way, or for whatever reason, I wasn't ready to receive the message. I think you have to be open-minded on certain stuff. Vicky, your thoughts?
I think organized religion is in place to try to control people. And the difference is when you get to the level where you're exploring spirituality, that is just you and whatever your higher being is, without people telling you what to do and what to think. And that's why, to me, it's a much higher order level to be on than someone spoon feeding you and telling you what you can and cannot do.
Exactly. I knew at a certain age when it came to religion, I was doing things because people were telling me, and I was doing things almost kind of like a superstitious kind of a thing. I did this wrong. I better pray to God.
This is the way you have to do
yeah,
it, so do it that way.
Exactly. And to me, I started to realize, I'm not a person that does not believe in God. I believe in something higher power. When I see the sunrise, when I see the different detail of animals, when I see the ocean move, you can hide behind all the fucking definitions with gravity and all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, the greatest and most brilliant mind cannot explain what the fuck we are doing here and why we are here. You just can't.
I think to Vicky's point, I think that, humans always can mess up a good thing.
Always!
They really can. And humans have framed it as punitive. More or less, right? So, and
fucking TikTok. I blame TikTok. I'm sorry. I go on these TikTok rants. I fucking hate it.
And when you have something with your dogs or a sunrise, that doesn't. You're not approaching spirituality again from a punitive angle. You're approaching it, from a very, very different and what I would argue a deeper perspective. And I think that's what's sticky.
Yeah, I do think. Not only as a nation, but I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I think it's just something that I see. I think there's a spiritual deficit in the country and across the globe. We're living in a very drop the mic. I'm not going to forgive you. You did me wrong. Fuck you. I'm edgy. I would like to see the bridge coming back. Well, and again, I know I sound like I'm crazy. I really do. and I said in 2022, I'm not going to bitch about social media, but I do see a very major divide in the human spirit because of social media.
Yeah, 100%.
I do.
100%.
I think Vicky was saying that a lot of people currently who are in some sort of organized religion or any kind of whatever, I think you just kind of got stuck in this rut where you're not really thinking about why you believe what you believe. You're just told this is what you do, and you just get into a comfortable rhythm of like, this is what it is.
Going
this
through
is
the
how my life
motions.
is.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, that becomes part of your being, the way you decide to live your life. So you just kind of, you may get comfortable with it, and you don't want to question anything. And not that you should question, and I'm not saying like Rage Against the Machine, like.
Well, you should question everything. You should question everything.
But I mean, it's okay. It's okay to I don't know, to rethink the way you think of things. And I think that some people have a way of being able to exist within the organization of bigger religions and have that mindset of like, I'm constantly learning, and you can exist within the organizations and do that. But it's just, I think the majority of people are just kind of like, this is what I do, so this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Yeah, no, 110%. And you just made me think of something else. I think we also are, people can change their opinion on something. You can believe one thing when you were 19 and then change your perspective. That's what I thought. I thought that's what being a human
that means you are a flip-flopper.
was. Being I thought you were allowed to change as you fucking grow and mature, but no, Twitter, Beckett.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. People have to give room to evolve. And,
yes.
and just because you said something in 1999 doesn't mean you believe it or understood it at that point. And if you don't give people room to evolve, then we're all stuck in the same place.
I just grew up, at least with a family where my family made a lot of mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life.
Everyone does.
My loved ones have made mistakes. I don't like the feeling where you can't make mistakes and feel unlovable after that mistake. Now, of course, there's the big three, the terrible, fucking horrible crimes that we all agree are heinous. But I'm talking about we've all said something to a human that we regret. We've all yelled at somebody or a version of your yelling where you feel bad about that. I don't think you are damaged goods because of that.
No, and what I always say is I have some crazy clients that are some of my best friends, but my line of demarcation is you have to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware.
To me, the single most important thing a human can possess, people who are not self-aware, if you're not self-aware, you're in for a lot of hurt, or you're not.
Then you get the worst end of it where someone's like, they're like, no, I know I'm a dick. That's just the world.
I can
I'm
handle
rocking
those
right
kind
now.
of people.
I can handle.
I can't. I can't. That's a level of arrogance that I can't get.
But at least if you're talking about the person that says, I know I'm a dick, at least I go, all right, you know you're a dick. I think you're a dick. You're at least self-aware that you're a dick. I agree. I don't like that dick, but I at least respect the fact that you know you're a dick.
I think some middle ground with Jen is that someone would say, I know I was a dick. Yesterday.
Or I'm trying to defeat it. Like, I know I'm this way. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't stand the person. I do not like the person that says, look, I keep it fucking 100 every time. I speak my truth. No, you're an asshole. Everyone that speaks their truth 100% of the time is a fuckface. Make no mistake about that. You're not supposed to always be honest with everything in your brain.
Yes.
You don't have to type everything on social media, and you don't have to say everything in your brain.
100%.
It's that dance.
100%.
What the fuck do I know, Beckett? I'm just a small town kid from Lake Park.
Yeah.
Vicky, anything to add on to the podcast tonight?
We will be busy working for the next several hours. And as soon as we have anything, if we find anything on video, you will get a text. Last time it was in the middle of the night.
It was
frantically texting you like, oh my God.
So full disclosure, I would stop watching the cameras right about 5:25. It gets very weird. So because we were partying, and Beckett was here, Dennys, Joe Ponton. I feel bad that we were hooting and hollering so much during the ghost investigation. You know how us boys get. That devil's piss in us. And
That's right.
We could get all excited. But the whole with the audio and the video with me, I cut it off for about 5:30. I couldn't find my phone, so I am crawling. My ass is up in the air.
Oh my gosh.
I text Vicky like a dumb fuck at 5:30 on a Saturday, and you hear me go, That's 5:30. She's a teacher. She's probably up. And then I go, oh shit, I think I'm still drunk, and it's 5:30. She's not up right now.
That's good stuff.
So I apologize, but you hear me work through all of that on the video.
That's amazing.
Like, oh, I can't find my phone, Vicky. Fuck.
Are you a talker out louder when you're thinking?
Dog. We will get emails to the show. You go, I saw Bird at Publix, and he was looking at the Fruit Loops for a good 7 mins.
Being a Fruit Loop.
Talking to himself. Just kind of
You
mutter.
gotta work it out.
I do, yes.
You gotta bounce it off of somebody.
I'm a big time talker to myself.
like it.
Sweet Dennys, anything to add? Your wife did a great job.
Yeah.
Jen, great stuff. I love it. And real quick about the tarot. Do you believe in tarot readings? Do you think that's a real thing?
I'm working out what I think. I'm not quite sold on any specific direction. I believe in an intuition. I believe in a gut feeling that can guide you somewhere. But I'm working out where I am right now.
I dated somebody who was really big into tarot cards, and I don't know.
Did she predict your future?
Predict what? Predict what? Where are you going there?
The demise? What?
Any of it?
Yeah, well, it was I think I've told this story before, and I know people hate when I repeat stories, but I don't think you've heard this. I was doing a reading with her and her aunt, and I was there just to have some fucking fun. I thought, this would be cute. This would be great. We'd have a great time. And her aunt, between us, was very annoying. Kind of just always, there was always something going on with this aunt. There was always a fucking thing. But long story short, she's putting them down, and with every card, they put it down.
Oh, gosh.
I'm
Not
like,
the Six
all
of
right.
Cups, no.
I'm like, all right, this is a little dramatic for a Friday.
Yeah.
And then the next card, oh my God.
Oh, my
And
God.
then there was the one with the guy, and I guess it was upside down, and the motherfucker had knives in his back, and the moon was aligned with the card, and we were doomed. And, well, yeah, if you fucking tell me we're doomed, we're doomed.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened.
There's a
back
lot
then.
of that in it. There's a lot of like self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah, I like to keep things. I try to keep it positive.
Yeah.
I don't like the.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know.
That's tough.
It's tough. All right, Beck, anything to add?
Yeah, if any weirdos are seeing Billy Joel tomorrow night, I will be watching The Piano Man in Orlando. I couldn't be more stoked. It's a bucket list item for me.
You're gonna see the Piano Man.
Yeah,
You've never seen him?
No.
Dog, he's the best.
So
He's my
stoked.
all-time favorite.
What's your favorite song?
Summer Highland Falls and then Vienna,
Okay.
and he will play both.
Okay. I'm
And they are
stoked.
both B-sides, and they are amazing songs. Now, I want to say we are not going to start the local music. Remember I talked about that last week?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I got only one submission, which I'm a little disappointed on. If you guys know somebody here locally that writes original music,
I have a submission for you.
good. Send it in to me, Jason, I'm sorry, okay, let's do this again. Rewind. Jason Pennington, KVJ at Gmail. One person sent it in. I'm going to play that song, so if we're not playing it tonight, I want to get a few more to make sure that we've got enough to make this bit work. But if you know someone locally that does original music, I want to play at the end of the podcast, so it's not intrusive. If you don't want to fucking listen to music, you can hit stop. I get some... Dennys, am I right? Trying to get people to listen to original music is the hardest thing on the planet. It's difficult. Not the most difficult thing on the planet. I think brain surgery.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Music distribution's pretty up there too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennys.
Nobody likes music being imposed on them.
Right, fuck
Yeah.
brain surgery. Music's way harder, right? No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. We respect brain surgery. Okay, guys, we love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
What was that? What? What's that sound? It's aliens and they're living in your town. They have arrived. They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared of aliens? Well, you should be. Cause aliens wanna probe around in your booty.